saves you time, so you can enjoy the things that matter most even more. Contact me, Tammy Haynes, your local agent, for a free personalized insurance quote. Allstate, are you in good hands?
This is the Dean of the College of HBCU Sports, Kenyatta Cavill of Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Come mix it up in the lab where the course lecture is in session every Tuesday from 6 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time on Facebook Live, YouTube Spreaker, or the BCSN app, as we discuss all things about the HBCU sports culture, including exploring the week that was in the sporting HBCU diaspora, as well as the upcoming week of HBCU sports. With me, the Dean, the College of HBCU Sports, on Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Course lecture dismissed.
Good day, good people. Once again, you've got the grumpy old nerds in your ear. As always, it is I, your Uncle John, the old man who watches too much TV, goes to too many movies, and reads too many damn comic books for all this gray on my damn chin. And who also, if you ask me and don't know, will tell you that I graduated from Hillman College. As always, we have our cast of characters, starting with the five borough Ronin. Did I say it right?
My man.
Hey, there it is. Uncle Rod, what's good, sir?
What's good? What's good? What's good? FAMU homecoming.
And there it is. There it is. Then we also have coming to you direct from the booty chair, Uncle Percy. What's good, Uncle Percy?
Hello, everyone.
Don't be so excited, man. And as always, behind the ones and twos, we have Uncle Roy. Uncle Roy, what's good, sir?
I was doing fine until Rod said something about FAMU homecoming that I'm not going to make again.
Oh, well, damn.
Hey,
I'm
man.
working.
Sorry.
I will be at Benedict's homecoming, though.
Oh, that's right.
Although it's not the same. Be quiet, Rod. I don't need that.
Well, you know, when you're so busy running a multi-conglomerate media empire, that none of those words made sense. You have to miss some things. So as you're building your empire, you have to take a couple missteps. So congratulations, sir, you're working. That's what you get for being an entrepreneur. So I would be remiss if I did not mention, and pardon me for mentioning this now because I'm the only one on this panel who watches this show, but I am so damn excited for Doctor Who to begin its 60th anniversary year. But I also have to say, I'm a little bit more than disappointed in the way that they treated this latest doctor or the past doctor, Jodie Whittaker. See, here's the thing. Doctor Who has been on the air going on next year 60 years. That is a long-ass time for one show to be running. Not continuously because they took a break because it got kind of shitty and they canceled it for a couple of years. But the BBC, which was the originator of the show, brought it back. And along with bringing it back, it brought back huge ratings, is still hugely popular. And the man who started it, Russell T Davies, brought us this TV show about a time-traveling Time Lord traveling through time and space with all these human companions, hanging out doing his thing. I've been watching this kid since 75. When I was a kid, Sunday evenings, I had to sneak and watch it on Channel 11, WTTW in Chicago. You see, you got to say that whole thing when you say Channel 11. watching that in Chicago and sneaking up after 10 o'clock, which is when it came on, and watching this show way before streaming and all this other shit was going on. And it had always been middle-aged white men. The thing about the Doctor is, every now and again, the Doctor regenerates. When actors' contract is up or they get tired of playing the role, they will leave, and therefore the character regenerates, which means you bring in a whole nother actor. For the past 40 some odd years, 50 some odd years, it had been middle-aged or younger white men. And then they brought in Jodie Whittaker, God bless her. Skinny little white British chick with blonde hair came in to be the Doctor. Fanboys lost their damn minds. They said, how dare you make the Doctor a woman, as if doctors couldn't be women, and how dare you regenerate this man into a woman, because, you know, regeneration happens all the time, and who's ever heard of a man regenerating into a woman? How dare they?
They're breaking the
Anyway,
rules, apparently.
this breaking the rules of science fiction. What the fuck? As gatekeepers and fanboys tend to do, they got upset when there was change. So this past Sunday was her last episode into regeneration. Now, although I enjoyed the episode, there's such a thing as fan service that could easily go overboard. Not only did they give us the regeneration we were looking for, they brought back 5 former companions, because the Doctor always has his companions traveling with him. Brought back 5 former companions from previous incarnations. They brought back 4 other Doctors to usher her into her new regeneration. And at the end, when she regenerated, spoilers if you're a fan and haven't seen it, they brought in David Tennant, who is arguably one of, well, you know what, Rod? And I know that you hate that we spoil stuff here and we're grumpy old nerds and I give a fuck. We spoil shit. But I have to say, the BBC ran the regeneration sequence on the internet before. So, of course, the BBC, they show their episodes like 4 or 5 hours before we get to see it. And they showed it on, like, I was on TikTok and they were like, here comes the Doctor's regeneration sequence. I was like, what? And this was an official TikTok from the BBC. So they spoiled it, bringing us David Tennant again. My issue is, with all the bells and whistles of what was going on, this poor woman who had gone through hell and high water to portray this role kind of got edged out. There's such a thing as too much fan service, I guess. And Jodie Whittaker did her yeoman's best to portray the Doctor in the way in which people would feel comfortable, and the way we've enjoyed the show for however long we've enjoyed it, for 60 some odd years. And she was not given the dignity to at least have the last episode be her episode. It was an episode of, oh, look, here's Graham. Oh, look, here's Tegan and Ace. Oh, look, and only Doctor Who fans from back in the day know what I'm talking about, so forgive me.
Hey, real quick, Uncle John. Real quick. Help me out here. So the Doctor regenerates, but they have the same personality.
Yes.
Is that how it goes?
Yes.
Okay.
It's the
all right.
It's the same. It's a different body, different face, same soul, same mind.
Oh, so these people are getting bent out of shape because they think that the different Doctor doesn't act like the Doctor they've been dealing with previously or they've seen previously. Is that what the issue is?
So
or it's just the fact that the Doctor is a woman.
The issue was strictly because it was a woman.
She was a woman. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Hey, let's go in the chat real quick before you continue on, because James Otis Hall made a couple of good points after saying good evening.
Yeah, James, I actually used to watch it on PBS too in Florida.
Yeah, he talking about he watched it on PBS. I watched it on WWOR Channel 9 in New York.
Yeah, it was a station in Maryland. Tom Baker was my first Doctor. So another point I wanted to bring up, James Otis Hall, and you bring
Tom
up a
Baker
good
was
point,
my first Doctor too.
Is that the red hair
Doctor
guy?
Who?
Yep.
Yeah.
The redhead dude, curly hair. Yep.
That's the one I remember.
Fro. But the thing that unites Doctor Who fans is everyone has their own Doctor. You know, there have been 14. So everyone has their Doctor who was the favorite. Most of us in the States will say Tom Baker was our favorite Doctor from back in the day, because that's who was introduced to us in the role when it first started showing here.
Right.
So, you know, we all, Anybody who knows anything about the old Doctor Who will say Tom Baker. And then anyone who, with the new generation of Doctor Who, they'll say, "Oh, it's David Tennant. We love David Tennant." Okay, whatever. He was actually pretty good. But damn it, he has time.
Is that the goofy guy with the straight? He had like black hair, straight black hair, or whatever.
Yeah,
He's the guy that played. He's the guy that played Purple Man in Jessica Jones.
And Jessica Jones.
That's where I knew him from. I was trying to figure out where I remembered him from.
That's him.
Roy truly sounds like an old man. Oh, I remember that boy. That's where I remember that boy from. Okay.
Yeah, that's him.
That Jody did be a little boy there. Yeah.
Right, essentially. But so what's happening is that Russell T Davies, who was the original person who brought it back into prominence, he's now coming back to the show as a showrunner. And his first order of business was to bring back David Tennant, who everybody loves, which is cool.
Okay.
But again,
all right,
now that deters from Jodie Whitley and what she was doing.
Jodie Whitley? Really? Jodie Whitley showed up in the show?
Whittaker. Well, I mean,
no, you said Jodie Whitley.
You said Jodie Whitley.
Now, Jodie Whitley is a doctor. I'd watch that shit.
Right. All day long.
I'll watch the hell out of that.
That shows you where my mind is. But Jodie Whittaker, literally, everything that she's done as the doctor has been criticized, but it's really not her fault because you've got all these people coming in her last episode, just derailing her final performance. She gets her little speech at the end, and she becomes David Tennant. So now it's not Jodie Whittaker. I almost said it. Jodie Whittaker.
Hey man, somebody get Jodie Whitley on the phone, man.
Right,
she missed out on a golden opportunity.
So it's not about Jodie Whittaker's last performance. It's about, oh shit, David Tennant is coming back, and I don't think that's fair. But
Listen,
that's enough of my soapbox.
Listen,
I'll let that slide.
And important shit. No, I'm just playing.
See, so this is a message directly to the people who watch this show. You see how they fuck with me? You see how they do me? I can't get my point in. Niggas interrupted me. It's just,
listen, man. I like Doctor
not
Who.
fair.
I do. I like.
No,
Dr.
you don't.
Who. I don't think it was a good idea. I don't think it was a good idea to bring Tennant back. I don't. I think they should have just brought in somebody else.
Well, the next, and Percy, I hear you over there. God bless you and your ministry. The next doctor is going to be the next doctor after David Tennant. So what this is, basically, is stunt casting. Next year, there are going to be 3 episodes that he returns as the quote-unquote 14th Doctor. And then he will turn into Nkata, oh my God, I forget this brother's name, but it's a queer black man who will be the Doctor after David
Okay,
Tennant.
because I remember we talked about that, and I was thinking, where was that dude? So then okay, I got you. Now it makes sense.
Yeah, so this whole thing reeks of stunt casting, and I love Doctor Who, and I love David Tennant in the role, but I don't think it's fair what they did and how they treated children. So, I mean,
oh man,
it.
James. James. Oh yeah, shout out. He said Jackson State will be visited by ESPN College Game Day.
Are we surprised?
That's an awesome thing. That's an awesome thing. I'm not surprised. I'm glad that they're doing it.
And they are
because
not the first HBCU.
I was gonna say because I was excited. I'm excited for Jackson State, just as I was excited for when they've come to FAMU twice in the past. So I want everybody in Jackson, Mississippi to share in that. And I want them to fill their quad and get right behind the stage and yell and scream and do everything they need to do.
But wait,
let's see plenty of Jackson State paraphernalia in the crowd and Old Crimson.
Roy, were you over there hating? Were you over there hating, Roy? What was that you were saying?
I wasn't hating. I was just, Rod said it so eloquently. I really didn't need to repeat anything. So,
hey, there's my baby right there. Hey, that was the 13th Doctor, Jodie Whitley.
Yo, you playing? I bet you that'd be a ratings boom.
Y'all see this shit? See again? You see how they fuck with me, right? You know I'm old. Half the time I don't know what the hell I'm saying, but they just gonna fuck with me regardless, right? Okay. So before we go any further down the Doctor Who Jodie Whitley Jackson State rabbit hole,
A British doctor without a British accent. I love it.
Well, there you go.
Do it.
Black Adam. Raise your hand if you saw it. So that's everybody but the host. So take it away, y'all. How was it? Would
Oh,
it be
wait a
worth
minute.
my
Wait,
money? Or
wait,
do I
wait,
need to
wait,
wait
wait.
for it?
Hold on before we jump for. No,
What are we
Heidi.
doing?
Doctor Who is not a show that you have to watch drunk. Um, it was
That's
sci-fi
just
that
an
we've had
excuse
for
for her to drink.
years. Right, exactly. We know you, Heidi. Let's get it
You should
real.
you
So
should have go
all
see
y'all
Black
kissing
Adam
ass.
drunk.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So
Oh
let's
shit.
start with Percy because Percy was
Oh.
like a C minus. I
Oh.
was like, what the
Right.
hell?
Wow. Percy came with the guns blazing. Come on,
He said
Percy.
C minus.
Yeah.
So
Did it
so
suck?
Hello?
this is the
Oh shit.
trailer.
I'm like, what the hell?
Hello,
Go ahead,
hello.
Percy.
Yeah.
I'm
Come
with
on.
you. We got you. Go ahead.
You come in, you see the trailer for Shazam. So I'm sitting there like, okay, there's a trailer for Shazam, but they don't talk about bringing in any other characters but the family, and of course they're going up against another character from the comic books, but they don't talk about Shazam. And I'm trying to figure out, is this Shazam in the same timeline as Black Adam with Superman, or is this something before or after? The whole Dark Side thing from Justice League. So I'm trying to figure that out. That's the first thing that pissed me off. The storyline was good in the beginning, how they explained everything about, it reminded me, of course, of Black Panther, how they try to explain everything, and they got the slaves, and digging for this mineral that's supposed to be the most powerful thing, and yada 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 yada. And then it just goes totally to the left because here comes I keep getting that old girl's name. She come popping out of nowhere. I'm like, where the fuck she coming from? Last
Amanda
time we
Waller.
saw it was in Suicide. Yeah, we see her in
Amanda Waller.
Suicide Squad. So where the fuck is this taking place at? What the hell is going on? Why is she there? Because she didn't have to be there. She really didn't. She didn't need to be there. And then when did Dr. Fate and Hawkman and these two new knuckleheads? Well, the girl's fine, so I didn't care watching her spin in the air and stuff. But the white guys couldn't do shit. I'm like, what are you guys trying to do? What are you trying to do? So instead of just going forward, because honestly, like the lady said, all you had to do was go up there and talk to him and say, before you start fighting him, just talk to him and say, hey man, why are you here? What you doing? And oh no, Hawkman. No, I'm a big black motherfucker. I'm gonna fuck this motherfucker up. Watch me, I'm gonna take him out. But of course,
Fuck
magic
this
can't beat magic.
motherfucker.
So it was a draw on that. So I'm just here. So and then the story kind of came back, but then you lose it again because now it's not about him, it's about this damn crown. And then of course you knew at the end he was going to come around and be the hero that he's supposed, well, the so-called hero that he's supposed to be. And then of course the fucking ending with Superman popping up after she's like, oh, I can get aliens from outer space. They're like, bring her. I just fought one. Shit, who else you gonna bring? And then here's Superman. We need to talk. Please sit your ass down, DC. You fucked up again.
Damn.
Wow. Well, Percy, I can honestly say I'm more confused about this film than I was when you started.
DC, you fucked up again, according to
You
Percy.
fucked up again. You fucked up. You literally you had it. I mean, I was into it the first 20 minutes. I was into it, and then it just flipped. I'm like, what? And then okay, well, you guys talk about it, and then I'll ask another question.
Yeah, because we
Well,
really didn't
Percy,
think it was that bad.
but before you all start, I have to say it was announced either today or yesterday that James Gunn has
Yep.
been announced as the co-head of DC Studios. Now,
Yep.
James Gunn, for those of you who do not know,
Right.
did Guardians of the Galaxy and did Peacemaker and Suicide Squad, and most of his stuff for DC has been met with pretty positive reviews. So I think naming him as head Percy will help straighten out some of the dumb shit that DC's been doing. But please, you all continue with your review of Black Adam because
I
I'm
do
lost.
not
I don't know
think.
what the
Well,
fuck's
I
happening.
think it will be helpful. James Gunn being, one of the heads of the movie division, but I think his as long as everything is not in his style, I'll put it that way. I think it'll be fine.
Okay,
But
right.
back to Black Adam. Okay, Percy. I think timeline wise, I think that this takes place after Justice League,
It does.
and it takes place after Shazam, the first Shazam movie, and the Suicide Squad, the latest one that just came out on HBO Max. It takes place after that.
Because they mentioned both of
Um,
those in the movie, didn't they? They mentioned Suicide Squad.
they mentioned Task Force X. They
X,
Right,
did
yeah,
mention
right.
Task
Task
Force
Force
Mention
X.
Task
X.
Force
Right.
X.
Um, the woman from Peacemaker, I forgot the one that was working with Amanda Waller and then turned on her. She was actually in the film as well in the end. So toward the end, so I think it might have been either right after
Oh damn!
Peacemaker. Remember
It
her? Yeah,
wasn't tasty, was it?
Didn't that wasn't that
no,
was that the one rod where they told her that
The
they had
white,
somebody? No, no, I'm thinking about something else where somebody
the
had to take
blonde.
the
over.
Yeah,
white
yep.
girl.
Okay,
Hmm.
okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, she showed up toward the end. But also just to kind of help you clear out why he's talking about why would Doctor Fate and Hawkman there? They're the Justice Society, all right, which was a
Right.
superhero
I
group that was
get
pre
that
World
part.
War II to Earth 2.
Right. I get that
Right.
part, but why are they working with Waller? That never.
Yeah, that didn't happen. Correct.
That was
Um.
what pissed me off. Why?
Right.
Why was she dealing with them?
Yeah. Yep. That was kind of a strange. They didn't really. I think they kind of maybe should have explained that a little bit. But the other two characters, Cyclone and Atom Smasher, they were both in the Justice Society. Also, Atom Smasher is the grandson of the original Atom Smasher
This one, he's the
with
grand
a size
nephew.
changing ability. Say again.
In the movie. He's his
Oh,
great
his grand
nephew.
nephew. I'm sorry. Yeah, yeah,
Great
grand
nephew.
nephew. All right. So they have Hawkman, Carter Hall. They got him as Aldous Hodge playing Hawkman, and I have to say that I think he did a pretty good job as Hawkman because Hawkman is
Yeah.
actually headstrong, judgmental, and quick tempered. So he played Hawkman perfectly. I like the way they used him having the nth metal or using the nth metal in the movie. I thought that was cool.
Hey,
Black
real
Adam.
quick,
Yeah, go ahead.
Teo reboot sent a message asking is Viola Davis the Nick Fury of the DC? Pretty much.
Yep.
I'm sure she's going to be part of the
She
connective
will be.
tissue
Yeah,
for
she
everything.
will be. I think
TL
that's what
probably.
they're
Yeah,
moving
yeah,
for.
yeah, yes. That's what they're setting Amanda Waller up to be. But Amanda Waller is
Yep, the
a lot
Fonzo
more
Zoo.
ruthless than Fury.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was the deal with that. And when you have Black Adam showing up and people start dying, so immediately you see the difference in between he and anybody else you've seen in the DC universe up to this point. He immediately starts wrecking shop once he is unleashed on Kahndaq. So I thought that introducing the Justice Society, having them go up against, they had to have somebody to go up against Adam Teth Adam when he's most of the movie that's what he's calling himself because that's his name. Um, they need to have somebody. They need to have somebody go against him. I like how they initially talked about how they imprisoned him though. I thought that was cool because you saw the other wizards fighting against him because in Shazam in the wizard's home there's a whole lot of empty chairs.
Right.
So those
Hmm.
other wizards died trying to imprison Black Adam. So I thought that was a cool flashback when they did that, and they had Jaimin Hunsu, who's the original wizard in Shazam. He makes an appearance here, so
Oh
that was
shit!
cool.
Wow.
Yeah. So what they're doing is essentially that they're resetting the DCEU because
Yep.
Walter Hamada, the guy who was over it beforehand, apparently had a really large role in alienating in everyone and having them hate what they were doing. So
Right.
now that he's gone, they have new leadership, and they're using The Rock as kind of like the tent pole or the flagship property to reset the DCEU. And
And
I
it
think
seems
they
like
picked a good
everybody
person to
kind of
do it.
it seems like everybody kind of digs James Gunn and how he handles the properties. So they made a pretty good decision, I believe, and
Fuck
it seems
DC.
to be working
Fuck
out.
'em. Fuck them all. Fuck DC. Fuck them all. Fuck them
Well,
all.
So
okay.
there was another thing about that I read after I read the thing about the two co-heads because James Gunn is be overall the creative. So storylines, plot lines, directions, I think is going to be the area that he's dealing with, and then the other guy, I forget the name, is going to handle the business side and the actual production. So like where they're shooting and all that kind of stuff. So they're
Mhm.
doing that. But the other thing that that I noticed about it, Percy's a trip, is they were talking about now that there may be something, and this will be something for me that'll be interesting as they talk about Justice League 2, because what they actually could do at this point now with with Black Adam being in the movie, we could actually get the Dark Superman, um, who was done in by Darkseid when he had his mind warped up, and still have somebody to be able to battle him from a power perspective, because they were saying that Black Adam is there as of now. The working theory is that Black Adam will be in Justice League 3. It'll be the Justice League and Black Adam versus Darkseid.
Oh,
So they're bringing Darkseid back then.
Yeah, apparently that's what they were saying. That is going to be the thing now. So
Why is it going to take them 2 movies to do it? What's gonna?
unless
I'm
unless I said it
asking, what's
wrong,
going to
so
be
it
the
may be
second?
Justice League 2. It may have been, but
but you know
Yeah,
let us
what?
know.
To
it's
be
going to be like
very
at least
honest,
Doom.
I would appreciate the fact that if the second Justice League was the Justice League versus Black Adam, and then the third Justice League was Black Adam and the Justice League versus Darkseid. At least that way, we're building towards something as opposed to DC just throwing shit at us and saying, you know what, fuck it, let's see what happens if we just cram all this stuff in together. So I like the building approach to it.
One more thing that I actually enjoyed about the movie, I guess Percy, we let Percy go on his thing about how much he hated every part of it. Um, but I think I actually like the fact of him being a quote unquote anti hero or a redeemed hero. I like that because I think that Black Adam was such a. I think they wasted him. I think with me, his character was so wasted because of the fact, like, first off, there should have been no reason that he should not have been kicking Shazam's ass every time they fought. Period. End of discussion. There, like, literally should be no reason for that because he was a warrior who had been doing it for years and all this other stuff. And and they've taken, like, I've been critical of Shazam because Shazam to me is nothing more than a comedy now. I don't, I'm like, dude, I'm like, yeah, this it's just too much. I can't deal with Zach. I mean, it's like after seeing him in that show that used to come on NBC,
Chuck.
Chuck, exactly, yes. I just being a superhero, I just be like, yeah, no.
Wow.
But you would
They
think
watered
you would
down the power of Dr. Fate as per Dwayne Johnson's contract, where he has to be the strongest character in every movie. Wow, James Otis Hall.
Yeah, I
So
knew somebody was going to say something about that.
you just as savage as Percy, man. Damn, you
but they supposed to
you
be
put
giving
him
Well,
out
I
there.
mean,
but they
the one
supposed
thing
Dr. Fate
yeah,
supposed to come back, right? Wasn't
Doctor,
they saying
I
Pierce
like Doctor
Brosnan?
Fate. See,
Yeah,
Doctor Fate is a Lord of Order. He's pretty powerful.
Right.
So,
Right,
and it's all because of the helm of Naboo. Is the spirit of an ancient wizard which resides in the helmet. One thing I thought they
right,
could have done a little differently, which would have kind of made that more apparent to the audience, is when Kent Nelson, Pierce Brosnan's character, puts the helm on, the voice should be totally different, and it really wasn't that much of
Yeah.
a difference. I think in order to hammer that home, they should have made him sound totally different, as if Naboo was speaking through him. But they made him, and a lot of people have been saying this online too. They made it seem like he's more like Doctor Strange, and he's really not that type of. He has
He's a
kind of that power set, but there's a lot of other
he's
stuff that
he's not
Doctor
that kind
Fate
of
can do.
sorcerer, right? He's not
Yeah,
that
there's
kind
a
of
lot of other
sorcerer.
stuff that Doctor Fate does that Strange does not. But they kind of settled it into using some of the power set to make it look like Doctor Strange, to make him look like Doctor Strange, but
So
he really
Te-
isn't.
Teo made a comment about them reshooting the Flash and making him the Peter Parker of the DC universe, which in theory sounds like a
Yeah.
great idea. But first, they have to get an actor who's not such a fuck up. And
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know,
I mean, honestly, they should just release them film and do a reshoot at the end where you see the new actor
The
as the
multiverse.
Flash
Just do
at
a
the end.
multiversal thing and
Yeah,
have
because
some of
Barry
them
Allen
close out.
sacrificed himself in Crisis on Infinite Earth, and Wally West
well,
showed up as it was functioned and operated as the Flash for a long time after Barry was
right.
gone.
Because they've already set up the whole multiverse theme because in the trailers you see like
Three
three
different
different
flashes, yeah.
flashes. So I mean, that is a mess. That whole Flash thing. It'll be interesting to see what James Gunn does with that in terms of moving forward with that Flash property
Greg
because
Gustin.
they had a lot of money behind that, and you would waste not only that money but a perfectly good, I think, Michael Keaton cameo or Ben Affleck cameo as Batman. So you know what DC. Yeah, you're right, Percy. DC sucks. So fuck them. So
Hold on. Somebody just said this movie was just like the boys. There was no hero gasm in this movie. The hell?
I
Not
saw the after
one.
credit scene and I was mad that I saw it, so I wasn't really surprised. But
It was
I did get a
wasted.
chance to hear the dialogue. When I saw it, I couldn't hear the dialogue because people were screaming in the theater. But I thought it was cool. I thought it was cool that Henry Cavill showed up as Superman, and Dwayne
I did too.
Johnson fought really hard to get him back in the DCEU. So
If
he's
nothing else, The Rock knows how to market shit. And he
right.
knew that people would get excited about the DC universe again if their generation Superman. Now, where they fucked up is that they put Henry Cavill out there, but they gave us I've seen the end credit scene. They put Henry Cavill out there, but they gave him the John Williams Superman score as
So
opposed
they're gonna
to
do that no matter
the
what.
new score. But
They're gonna
but
do that no matter what.
there's a whole new score. So now it's like they're shitting on the Zack Snyder version, which I'm gonna be honest, I don't give a fuck. But you've
I
got a
was about to say, you
generation
care?
who because the John Williams score for me is the Superman score. Fuck what you
Right,
know.
right.
The Superman theme, they use that for everything. Zach trying to distance himself
I
from that
I I
had someone else bring up that whole thing. So I think that was a misstep because this generation. Because I was reading online where quite a few people were like, "Why the fuck they got the John Williams score? Why can't we get the Zack Snyder score?" So that's their score. They
Nah,
can
don't worry
have
about it.
that.
They'll be
I
all right.
mean, it is
I
what it is.
The John
I
Williams
I
score is the Superman score,
People
I, I,
really
I
complaining about the music.
Oh,
bro.
dude,
Move on.
dude,
Don't
we're
even. Hey,
talking
don't
about
even address that.
gatekeepers, and I'm gonna be honest. I'm a music score nerd too. So I like music. For me encompasses the film just as much as the acting, special effects, or whatever. So I'm to hear the Superman score with that got me excited. But again, I'm not the demographic that they're trying to reach. They're trying to reach the younger demographic. Percy, you were gonna say something?
no, I was just saying. So, do you think you just brought up, John? So, you think this movie is more towards entertaining younger folks to bring them in? Because people like me, I'm sitting there with your two best friends, Tracy and Mike. Neither one of them know nothing about comic books or nothing, and they're sitting there like, I can get into this, and I'm looking at them like, oh, y'all just don't know. I'm shaking my head like, what the fuck? Why this bitch
See, Percy, you're being a comic book purist in the sense that's what's going on. You're
He's being a grumpy old nerd.
yeah. No.
And then
That's that purist. He doesn't want to see, but they had, like I said, they had to reset that character completely because of I just don't
Which
think you
character?
Black Adam.
Oh,
That I mean, from what we originally remember Black Adam as, he could not come. They couldn't bring him into the DCEU as a villain. And The Rock doesn't want to be a villain overall anyway. He wants to get that love and the shine or whatever. But he's gonna work better as a hero anyway.
I, and then I think the ending would have been right. Superman should have walked out, and right behind him should have been Shazam. So he'd be like, "What the fuck?" Yeah,
Now,
there's a
Percy,
number
you know what?
because
I
only
agree with
because
you
it's
because Black Adam is a Shazam arch villain. So I think
correct.
that Shazam should have gotten first crack at Black Adam and not Superman.
right.
But again, we're talking about us who know the history of the character as opposed to the peripheral fan who all they know is
The new
Superman.
history. Well, no, they know the new.
Yeah.
See, but just think about what y'all just said. They know the new history. They don't know the original origin story of those two characters
Yeah,
is not the
I agree.
same anymore. Black Adam's
Okay, so if they
history
know,
is his origin isn't the same anymore.
okay, so if they know the
But
new
they,
history and all they know is Superman and Shazam, and they see Shazam's costume is a lot like Black Adam's,
Looks just like him.
then they should think, okay, well, this guy is his opposite number. This is supposed to be his arch enemy. So I know what
Y'all
Shazam's powers are.
still
I know what
on
Black
that.
Adam's powers are.
I don't think that's what they're looking
Y'all
at it
y'all
as.
y'all still looking at it from the from a spectrum of people who have watched this shit most of your lives and have studied it. We're
Oh, you talking
talking
about people
about
first timers? I
per-
got you. I got you.
we're talking
Yeah.
about people who will not make that connection. Shazam came out how many
Yeah,
years ago, and it was an okay film. We're talking
exactly.
about The Rock making a statement saying, "I am this character, and I'm bringing in the one character who I don't care who you are, you know who Superman is, and you know what he can do." And he's coming in, and people have been clamoring for him to come back, Cavill to come back. So they're going for a specific thing. Now, if you want it to be like plot line accurate and comic accurate, you'd have Shazam in there. But they don't give a fuck about Shazam.
Yeah.
They give a fuck
Low
about
key,
Superman.
low key, I think comic book writers really want to give Shazam some love because there's been a whole lot of foolishness going on with like his name and get people suing people and
Hmm.
all that kind of stuff. Because
Captain
when you look at
Marvel.
some of the comic books, yeah, when you look in the comic books, it seems like Captain Marvel or Shazam is always saving Superman's ass
right,
or
right,
beating Superman's ass because he's
Right.
vulnerable to magic. So if you
right.
Hmm.
if you get a chance, take a look at the graphic novel Justice. It's done by Alex Ross. The art is done by Alex Ross. Awesome,
Because
once in a
only
generation artist. Check it out.
because only
Awesome
because
story.
only because honestly, Captain Marvel is the only other person that knows his weakness, which by saying the word Shazam, they brought that up in the beginning of the movie.
But now you just if anybody is just tuning into this show just for the fuck of it, you've confused the fuck out of them because you said Captain Marvel, and they're all like, "Well, wait a minute, Captain Marvel's a woman," and
She in the
that
Right.
that
Yeah.
MCU.
that
Exactly.
that
Exactly.
ties into why they have Superman being his arch nemesis right now
Okay,
because
fuck DC. Let's
that
move
just
on.
keeps it
Fuck
clean.
DC.
Oh,
Fuck it.
oh
Fuck
my
it. Fuck
goodness!
DC.
God damn, first. Okay,
Okay.
Tell us how
well,
you
Okay.
really feel, bro.
since since we're talking about James Gunn, and we're gonna try and make the segue as smooth as possible, the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday trailer has come out and
Oh
assaulted
my
all
god.
of our senses. Uh, can we pull that up, Roy, and check it out?
We can.
Ooh.
I just saw on the calendar that right now on Earth it's almost Christmas time.
We don't have time for trivialities like Christmas.
But Peter's so sad about Gamora being gone. Maybe if we go to Earth for a really wonderful Christmas gift, it would make him happy. Something special he will never forget.
What about someone special?
We're looking for the legendary Kevin Bacon.
We're looking for the legendary Kevin Bacon.
I just said that, Drax.
Your voice is small and mousy. I think maybe he didn't hear you. You're coming with us as a Christmas present. I'm Groot.
How can you not look at that and smile? Come on now.
Like this.
Why did they send the two most?
It-
They sent the two most inappropriate people to get Kevin Bacon.
But
but
they
I knew they
didn't
were going to
send
do
them.
that.
They came up
I
with
was about to
with the
say it was
idea
their idea,
themselves.
wasn't it? Yeah.
It can't be worse than a Star Wars Christmas. So, yeah, there you go.
Step
Hey,
off a
That's
Star
true.
now
Wars
that
Christmas.
was some
That's
shit.
true.
Step off
Yeah.
Star
It did
Wars
So
work.
Christmas.
Star
that
Wars
that man
holiday
did not
special.
just say
Roy,
step off
you
Star
telling
Wars
me you like
holiday
Star
special.
Wars Christmas,
Hey, I'm a Star Wars fan, man.
but
All the
but
old stuff I
Chewbacca,
liked. All the old stuff I liked. Because that was in my
Wait, wait, wait,
childhood.
wait, Roy. Like for real, you like that shit?
I did. You know, look. Back in the day, man. Back in the day, I couldn't help it. I can't even lie. Back in the day, I did.
No, Roy. That's cool. Back in the day, we all dug it because we didn't know better. But now we're grown. You still
Yeah,
like it?
but listen, I ain't seen it again, so I just remember
Hold
liking
up,
it.
man. You still liked it?
Like I said, I don't remember. I don't remember it. I remember liking it, so I'm leaving there. I ain't gonna take my likes away.
Okay. Well,
All
yeah,
right.
we gonna step off that. So the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special. I'm looking forward to it. I think it looks like fun. Just some ridiculousness. And again, James Gunn did this as an epilogue to this phase of the MCU, and it looks stupid. And I wish they would have saved Kevin Bacon as a surprise as to pulling him out and putting his role in
Yeah, I
this
think,
in
yeah.
the trailer.
Yeah, you're right. That would have been a lot better. Save him as a surprise.
Yeah. Yeah.
Definitely.
In an age of over information, I didn't need to see that. I would have loved to have them talk about him and then just at the end, just bang, there's Kevin Bacon. Been like, oh shit, okay, 6 degrees. But clearly Roy and Percy are not looking forward to this.
I thought it was cool how they did that opening, like the old CBS specials that used to come out in the 70s,
Yeah,
early 80s.
yeah.
I thought that was
I
cool.
mean, they've got this. Marvel has down right now the whole we can play with it. They've established themselves as this powerhouse, and now we'll just throw specials out there and we'll play with the characters and just kind of hang out.
want to
I
come
think
out with
it'll.
the boys?
Hey,
It's,
did
it's,
we?
it's going to be on Disney Plus, right? So,
Yeah.
hey, you have nothing to lose. It's on Disney Plus.
Hey, did we talk about the last show? Did I miss it? Did we talk about the Ant-Man and Wasp trailer?
We did not.
We have
We did
not.
not show the. We did not show the trailer for Quantum Mania.
Yeah, that
We
we
could.
I was about to say we're gonna have to rectify that. We keep talking till I get it up.
Yeah, let's okay. We'll keep talking till he
Well,
brings it up, and
I
we'll
saw
bring
in
it
the
from
I
the
saw in the
schedule. But yeah,
comments. I saw in the comments. To said that they should cast Grant Gustin as the movie Flash because
Yeah,
people
that's
would
what I
love him.
said.
Yeah, we both said
nah.
that a long time ago. I said, "Hey, back the
I,
truck up, Grant Gustin. You're the new Flash on the screen.
you know what?
Let's
I
go."
disagree with that. I disagree with
I'm
that
sure.
because I think I've had enough of him. Yeah,
I was
I've
about to
had enough
say
of
I was
him.
about to say you just did it like because you weren't a CW guy.
Well, no, I dig. Now, okay, let's talk about the CW real quick. I dug the first 4 seasons of The Flash. After that, it went downhill. I dug
I
Black
agree.
Lightning. A lot of people didn't. Um, I
I thought
I hate with a passion Legends of Tomorrow. That show is just stupid.
Yeah, me too.
Black
I like
Lightning could
Outgirl
have been
on
so
the
much
show.
better, man.
Should have been so much better.
It could have. I agree. For what they gave us, I dug it. Could it have been better? Yes. Should it have been better? Yes. But
When they put it
I was just kind of
not in
happy
the
to have
same
them out there.
universe as everybody else, if it's not in the same universe as everybody else, that hurt it
That was stupid.
because you couldn't get crossovers. Everybody else got crossovers, and that's why they
Yeah.
got popular. Arrow and Flash did crossovers regularly,
You
right?
know what? To
When
be very honest,
Supergirl came out, they did the crossovers with her.
yeah. So are you trying to say it was racial? Are they racist
Nah,
as
I'm not
well
trying to
as
say it's
well as?
racial. I'm just saying, their analog of Atlanta
Okay.
is only so big, and you
No,
have Tobias Well, and like that's somebody Black Lightning should really have murked in like 3 episodes.
damn.
But you know,
Well, I'm all about the fact that I agree with you about the whole crossover thing. I think that was shady how the fact that Okay, you film Black Lightning in Atlanta and all the other shows are filmed in Canada. I get that. But it was still fucked up. And Black Lightning should have gotten the cross promotion of crossing over with those other shows, like all those other shows did. If nothing else, I think Percy and Roy have said this. Legends of Tomorrow got what, like 7, 8 seasons? And Black
Black
Lightning only
Lightning.
And they
got
only
4.
needed 4.
And remember what was my
Yeah.
thing when I said at the beginning? I said if they don't give Black Lightning at least 5 seasons, and
No,
they
I
gave
agree.
this garbage of what you call it as many seasons as they did, there needs to be a
Yeah.
boycott of the CW.
No, I have to agree.
'Cause, yeah,
No,
that
they
was
want that
Legends of
bullshit. I
Tomorrow
agree.
went down the tubes. It went tubes when Captain Cole left.
Yeah.
I can't
I
remember
think
his
we're
I
real
agree
agree.
name.
on that.
And also when they had Rip Hunter played by the guy who was Rory on Doctor Who, that was just too close to me. Like you had him as a time traveler, and now he's a time traveler again. That just the symmetry wasn't there. I didn't appreciate that. That was some
I don't know
bullshit.
why they got rid of
I
him.
know
They
I'm
should have
alone
kept
on
Rip
that.
Hunter. They
And
should
they
have kept
got rid
him.
of him too. So
well, yeah, it
yeah,
became after they got rid of his character, that's when the show became a joke. Because before
I agree.
then, there was purpose and a reason why they were doing the stuff that they were doing, trying
Right.
to fix or whatever the hell it was. But yeah. So I got the trailer ready whenever you guys are ready.
Wentworth
Okay,
Miller.
come on, let's
That
go.
was his name. Wentworth Miller, Captain
Yeah,
Cole. Awesome
Yeah.
Captain Cole.
Yep, the guy from
come on, let's go.
Breakout or no prison. What was it called?
Prison Break.
Prison Break. Yeah, that one.
Not to be confused with the video game from Atari.
Oh, okay.
You know that show Breakout.
I used to ask myself a lot of questions. Scott, you're at ex-con. How are you an Avenger? That doesn't make sense. But everywhere I go, people tell me the same thing.
Thank you, Spider-Man.
People still need help, Dad.
That's why we made this.
Like a satellite for deep space, but quantum.
Wait a minute. You're sending a signal down to the quantum realm. Turn it off. Now!
Secret universe beneath ours.
What are you so afraid of?
There's something I never told you.
This place. It isn't what you think. I can get you home. And give you more time. If you help me. So, what's it gonna be? Ant-Man.
And when I wasn't interested in an Ant-Man movie before, guess what?
That's how they do it. That is how they do it. So now everyone is going
That's
to
the
see this
formula.
movie.
That's the
'Cause you're gonna
formula.
get
The first two
you're gonna get
sucky, and then the
first
third one is great.
You're going to get the first appearance of Kang. The costume looks dope.
Right.
Jonathan Majors is doing his thing.
Well, isn't this
You
his
got
second
his
appearance?
Chronopolis, not as Kang. Well, kind of
Nice.
as a variant of Kang. Yeah,
I was
but
about to say because
comic
isn't
book
that who?
Kang.
I was about to say that wouldn't be he who. What was his name?
He Who Remains.
Yeah, he who remains.
He Who Remains. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, but the like comic book blue face, purple costume Kang.
Yeah, I did see that where he had the blue face in that one
Yeah.
shot.
That looked dope. Now I look, I've been critical of the Ant-Man films because they were stupid and they deserve to be criticized, but this looks fantastic. And I've read some theories about where this may be going, which I'm not going to spoil here because I know Rod hates that. But
if it's just a theory, then it's not a spoiler.
Exactly.
Okay, so
say it. Thank you.
So the theory is that Kang actually kills
Superman's gonna show
Ant-Man,
up.
and then Lord have mercy, and then
Wait, you had to say it again because first you started talking. We didn't hear you.
Say Kang
so
actually
the
what?
theory, Kang actually ends up killing Ant-Man, and then Cassie takes over in terms of being the hero stature, and she makes it her mission to hunt down Kang and kill him. But in the Young Avengers comic, Cassie and Kang, a younger version of Kang, get together, but she doesn't know it's Kang. So now that gives the Young Avengers movie the drama of Cassie dating and having a love interest of the guy who grows up to kill her father. Wild theory, but I thought it was cool.
I'm calling it right now. I was gonna say actually, I was gonna say Hank Pym and Janet, or both of them, are gonna bite it in this one.
Oh, they have to. They're so old.
Well, and then they said that they're trying to give somebody some additional time, so you figure it was one of those two. Or
well,
they end
either
up
they
having
die.
to stay
I could
there.
see. Yeah.
They have to stay in the quantum realm to survive.
Yeah. I just the way that they've put this up looks fantastic. And have you seen the poster for it as well, where you've got Jonathan Majors and Ant-Man and the Wasp like tiny on one of his fingers. It's Marvel, if nothing else. Marvel knows what the fuck they're doing in terms of marketing. Yes, exactly. Yeah. That's the point.
Yep.
But this movie looks dope. Now, compare that to the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special. And I think we have a true winner.
It's two different things. So,
well, I like the Guardians of the Galaxy special. I think it looks like fun.
I'm gonna check it out. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna check it out.
Yeah, people always talking about it. Yes, but you're not. You already determined to not like it, man. You and Percy are both like.
I didn't say I didn't. I didn't say I wouldn't like it.
I didn't say I didn't like it. I just said it can't be worse than the Star Wars one. That's all.
That's a pretty low bar. You can't go much lower than that.
Well, I'm not.
So okay, I have a question, and it's keep looking. It's dope. That poster is dope. I have a question since we're completely out of the realm of the schedule that we were going to keep. Why are we ignoring Andor on this show?
I'm watching.
We talked about it.
No, we give Andor every segment usually gets 10 to 15 minutes of deep analysis. Andor, we've summed up in 2 sentences and left it alone.
Clusterfuck.
Okay. When are we? Oh shit!
Yeah.
Okay, Roy, you can start it off. Please do.
Look, I had to refrain from writing a post to be like, damn it, Filoni, please don't go DC on me. Because you do this great movie that we all really wanted to see in Rogue One. All Star Wars fans wanted to see that. We did. And you get this character who ends up being a great character in that movie. And you let him say, damn it, I've been in this fight since I was 6 years old. And then you do an origin story that doesn't do shit about him being in the fight since he was 6 years old. What the hell? It's like you completely rewrote his ass.
So you wanted this show to start when he was 6?
Not necessarily even start when he was 6, but at least keep to that fact that he had been engaged and involved with dealing with the Empire from that stage. He hadn't been. I mean, he could have been. They could have done flashback. Like I think the first part of it was okay when the whoever the kids were and stuff and they died. Whoever he had that was died, and the lady took him. She takes him. And the next thing you know, the nigga's 30. And he's a thief. They gotta recruit him to go do something against the Empire. He ain't been fighting this fight. You been thieving. You been fighting this fight from the point where they at now to where he get to. You been in the fight 6 months. What the hell are you talking about 6 years old? I just don't like the fact that they completely went away from what they said in the damn movie. That was
James said you hadn't seen the flashbacks.
I did see the flash. No,
and he called us haters.
James,
Andor haters.
They showed the flashbacks in the first 2 episodes when they were little. The Empire ends up the one situation that he has is that he ends up that when all those kids were there and the girl got killed, whoever the girl was, who was the leader of the little crew, he had a crush on her. She gets killed. After that, when the other lady finds him, he doesn't have any involvement with the Empire. He doesn't know anything about what the hell they're doing when they go on this important mission that they drag him into. He's a mercenary. Give me my money, let me dip. He's not fighting the Empire. I'm sorry.
That's great theater, sir. Please, is there anything else that you're...
And you talked about me and Black Adam. God damn.
Yeah, but they did. Listen, Black Adam did have that's a whole different story. They set this up, and then they're gonna give you this story, and then they just, like I said, they completely go away from what the character was supposed to be in the damn movie that you announced them initially in.
My main issue with Andor is the really, really slow build up. So I checked out like the first 4 episodes, and it was like the first 3 were like a really, really slow build up, and I was like, where are we going with this? Where are we going with this? Okay, I got it. I get the flashbacks. He was a young kid. I got it. I got what he's doing now. What are they doing? And then when I get to the point where they're in the heist episode was cool. I thought it was really, really well done. I liked how they outlined the plan and everything that happened. It was great. I just think that I don't know. I feel like sometimes with some Star Wars characters, people don't realize, but there's a backstory to almost every single person you see on a screen. Whether they're important characters or not, but they have a backstory. Like that one alien rebel pilot that's in the corner, he's got a backstory. That one rebel
that
pilot
they will develop,
right? Who's human or whatever. They have a backstory on her as well. So everybody
who will give a 16-episode series. Yes,
right. And apparently that's what happened here. And I'm like, okay, it's cool. I get what you're trying to do, but I guess I'm more along the lines of, did you have to do that? I guess that's where I am with it. But it's well written.
Did you hear J.J. Abrams? Did you hear J.J. Abrams is developing a secret Star Wars project that happens after this last Star Wars film, The Rise of Skywalker?
I want somebody to do The Force Unleashed. I want to see Vader's secret apprentice, Starkiller. That's who I want to see. Dude, I want to see a story with that.
But you know what? That's the thing about Star Wars, man. There is so much pre and post what we have now. Not to talk about in the midst, like Rod's talking about, like Vader's apprentice. I mean, there's just so much stuff that you can do. Which is why listen, as a Star Wars fan too, I'm glad they kind of did away with the whole Skywalker thing at this point, because it's like, all right, y'all done fucked up the story with them last 3 books y'all did. Them last 3 movies y'all did, so we need to do something different anyway. But
you mean the Millennial Trilogy?
Oh, that's what they're calling it?
That's what I call it.
Oh, okay.
The Gen Z trilogy?
Yeah, high garbage is what I call it. But, okay.
So, okay, I guess my thing with the whole Star Wars thing is you have so many jumping off points. I mean, right now, have we counted How many Star Wars series are literally on screen right now? And they're all supposed to be canon? Like, you've got them going seven different ways to Sunday. Like, okay, so do Boba Fett and The Mandalorian happen at the same time, correct?
Around the same time,
Yes,
yes.
yes, they are
So
happening
what
concurrently.
where does so Andor happens before that?
Andor
Andor
is
happens before Rogue One.
what right before Rogue
Right.
One.
Okay.
It's
So and then Rogue One,
Andor is in between um the Revenge of the Sith and New Hope.
where does the Bad Batch come in?
The Bad Batch is right after Revenge of the Sith.
Yep.
Right.
Okay. And then where does there's
And
another one
Rebels is
that's
right
out.
after Revenge of the Sith also.
Rebels is right after. So they're happening concurrently.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. And then the one with Rosario Dawson, when is that one supposed to happen?
After Revenge of the Sith. Most okay, so this Ahsoka Tano, Rebels, Bad Batch, all of that stuff is happening between A New Hope and Revenge of the Sith. It's happening before Luke and Leia. After Vader, after Luke and Leia. I mean before Luke and Leia.
James, I don't need to have Jedi. I just need to have somebody that I fucking care about.
James, James Otis Hall is on fire. James is like, just light a
He
lightsaber
is.
once every episode to keep everybody happy.
Yeah, I just want somebody that I care about. That's all.
Okay. So
No,
yeah,
wait,
it's
wait, wait,
just
wait,
too
wait, wait,
much.
wait, wait.
Uh
How
oh.
did
Uh oh.
James? Where did you get that from, dude? She can't even
Oh
still be
shit.
alive at that point, is she?
Oh shit. Now look. Now don't get these Star Wars
Oh,
people
wait a minute.
arguing with each other.
She can
Oh,
still be
wait, no,
alive.
I just thought about it. What he just said. So wait a minute. So Ahsoka's show is gonna be because that's right. Ahsoka, they're dealing with her show now or before in the timeline.
Because she's
So Ashoka
after.
is Rosario Dawson.
That's
Help
resort.
me out.
That's her
Yeah,
show.
that's Ahsoka Tano.
Hers
Did
is
you
Okay.
did
during.
you
That should
watch
be between.
Clone Wars?
That should be.
Right,
No.
I
That should be
did.
between. But that should be between Empire Strikes Back and
And the
The
okay,
Force
wait,
Awakens.
no, right? Because remember, well, that's what they're getting ready to do. They're resetting everything um, after the Return of the Jedi. Those three, I keep telling, they want to wipe those three movies out of everybody's memory and say, "Fuck y'all, they didn't happen." I don't care what you got film on them. I don't care that you could go on this channel and see them. They didn't happen.
I was gonna say that's not gonna happen.
We're gonna
John,
tell
you
you
know,
this
John, you know who
exactly what
Ahsoka
happened.
is, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, she the lady with the white horn things look like hair.
she was Anakin's Padawan.
She was Anakin's
Right,
apprentice.
right.
She was Anakin's Padawan. What?
Apprentice. She was Anakin's Padawan.
Okay.
See,
Thank you.
he went way to another place with that
I
one.
I yeah.
Yeah.
Before he
right.
fell to the dark
She
side.
was Anakin's concubine. What?
Right. So that's why I wasn't sure when her show, James, if
Maybe
you
that's
have
why he
something.
went to the dark side.
Right. James,
Well,
you show me
that's
tell me where her show is set. Is it is it after or during the same time that the Mandalorian stuff is happening?
Well, it has to be because she popped up in The Mandalorian.
She came. Yeah, she appeared in a couple of episodes of The Mandalorian
No, I know, but that's what I'm saying. So is
when
her
they were.
story going to be around this point? And what? So
It could
she
be
may.
at it could be at any point. It could be at any point during after The Mandalorian. It could be
See, I thought it was going to be
it could be
before.
during. It could be after. It could be before the last three films. I mean, we don't know how. First off, we don't know how long lived her alien race
This
is.
is right.
You know what I mean? And she's not a true Jedi, or she doesn't think of herself as a true Jedi. So
Right.
maybe that's going to help her be more inconspicuous
Well, Force
and
wait.
hide.
Awakens
Why
is what
isn't
they're
she a
doing.
true Jedi?
She left the Jedi
What?
Order.
Oh,
Yeah.
to be
She
to
was
be
accused of
Anakin's
doing something she
concubine.
didn't commit, and she left the Jedi Order.
Yeah.
No.
They even talked
Well,
about
that's
that
nice.
in what was the cartoon one when she was dealing with the two sisters? Was that Rebels or was that
Well, it happened in Clone Wars.
Oh, okay, maybe it was Clone Wars then, the one I remember
It
seeing.
happened in Clone Wars. I don't. remember. I think she did show up. Yeah, she showed up in Rebels too.
She did.
So
They actually
right,
did like a 3-story arc that she was a part of in Rebels. A three
right, where
episode arc.
she ended up fighting
Oh
Vader and
shit!
finding
Y'all
out
see
and
this?
realizing
James Hall
he was
bringing up the
Yeah,
Anakin.
Gray Jedi.
the Gray Jedi. Well,
Oh
that's what it
shit!
is. It's supposed to
Oh,
be the
here we
Sith,
go.
the Jedi, and then the Greys. So I probably still have that image somewhere. We pulled that up back in the day when Gus was on the show.
Oh, you know what? James Otis Hall, you bring up some really good points, man. I agree. Black Lightning, if I can go back to 3 or 4 subjects ago, Black Lightning would have been better on HBO Max. It would have been spectacular on HBO Max. That's where it deserved to be, especially since you got Titans bullshit on there and Doom Patrol. So
Dude, again, Doom Patrol. Look how many episodes. Look how many seasons they got. I'm sorry. They did Black Lightning wrong.
they did, but again, it should have been on HBO Max. They couldn't do what they really should have done on the CW because they had to cater to a particular audience. On HBO Max, they could have gone nuts. So I agree with you, James. So if we're done arguing about Padawans and concubines, so another show
Andor
that
was
we
well
ignore on
written.
this
I'm just
show.
not interested.
Okay, sounds
Andor's
good.
boring.
Okay, are you two done? Another show we don't talk about, House of the Dragon. We need to talk about this show. I don't watch it per se because I was never a Game of Thrones fan, but I heard it's good.
I watched it Sunday night.
Yeah.
House of the Dragon.
Okay.
House of the Dragon takes place. The events in House of the Dragon take place around 200 years before Game of Thrones.
Oh,
So
okay.
it's dealing with the Targaryens, the family which are the descendants of Daenerys Targaryen from Game of Thrones, and it talks about
she's
how
the
that
descendant of that family.
yeah. So it talks about how they had basically a big family blowout, and they had a civil war which tore the kingdom apart. And it was all over the rightful rulership of the kingdom because of the actions of the king when he was alive. When he dies is when the kingdom is thrown into chaos and you have a civil war between the family, and the house is torn apart. And the events in House of the Dragon are the reason why in Game of Thrones the Targaryens are so splintered and they have been hunted down to almost extinction.
So here's my question: why are people tripping because there are black people in it?
Because people always trip about fantasy movies when they see black people in it because they think black people are not fantastic enough to be in fantasy.
We were still apes at the time.
What'd you say, Percy?
We were still apes at the time. We don't exist.
Oh my God. Okay.
And the black people who are in the show are very powerful. The leader of that family is Corlys Valerian, also known as the Sea Snake. He was an expert pilot and a warrior.
So Game of Thrones was based off the books, and there were some characters in Game of Thrones who were black too, right?
Yes.
And people were butthurt about that as well.
Not so much.
Oh,
strangely enough.
So it's just now. Why weren't they butthurt about Game of Thrones, but they booties hurt with House of the Dragon?
Because they couldn't conceive of a family who controlled dragons and having white hair. They didn't think that dark-skinned people could have white hair after seeing Storm for decades.
Well, I could disprove that theory. Shit. Look at my chin. Okay. So, I mean, yeah. But is the show good? I guess that's my main thing. Is the show good?
It is.
It was good Sunday.
It is. Listen,
so was that the last? Was that the last episode?
Yes, that was it.
That was the last. That was the season finale.
So you haven't watched any of it.
No, I just saw the one Sunday. That was some deep
Oh
shit.
no, y'all need to look, John. The dirty old grumpy old nerd will enjoy the first few episodes.
Damn.
Oh,
Okay. Yeah, I forgot
okay.
about that. True.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's I was like, well,
So,
damn.
But be warned, there's a little bit of
well,
incest.
Well, it's white people. It's royalty and white people. That's always gonna happen. I mean, but no, but John, no. I mean, so listen. I'm not
the
even
views
gonna just
expressed on the Grumpy Old
see. I
Nerds
was
are
gonna say
not
I'm not
those
even,
of.
dude. That is
Hey
history.
John. Hey
That
John.
is actual history. They talk about that. They do that, and they use the phrase for the same thing. That they marry their cousins, they marry their uncles and aunt because they keep their bloodlines pure. That was something that they did. That I mean that's history.
And that's the only way they're
I
able to
understand
control
that.
dragons.
Hey John.
Yes, sir.
Hey John. Some people like duck. Other people like geese. That was from the show. That was from the show.
Okay. I
Wasn't
don't
that from
know.
the
I've
show?
never
You
seen
think
this.
she told her husband? I saw some of the episodes, but the one last week was good. I liked the last one.
Yeah,
I thought it was
season
going to break in
two.
the war.
Look, season two
Yeah.
is going to
Yeah.
get a whole bunch of hype.
So John, the reason the reason they were able to control the Seven Kingdoms is because they control dragons. They ride on dragons.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's nice. So I was going to watch it just because Matt Smith, who was one of the doctors, by the way.
He was.
Just because
Matt
Matt
Smith
Smith
is
is on the
playing
show.
Daemon Targaryen. He was the brother to the king.
Okay.
Oh wait, that dude was a doctor, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was. Haha.
Matt Smith. Yeah.
Yeah, he was.
Damn, he done took a whole left turn with this character, buddy.
He was. He
Yeah,
was
Daemon's no joke.
Matt Smith is actually took over after David Tennant in the role of the Doctor. And I'm gonna be honest, of the modern era, Matt Smith is probably the second most popular one because David Tennant left such a big mark. They were like, okay, who's gonna come in? And he came in and made the character his own. So I know he's a good actor.
Oh, well,
so
look,
I'll check it out.
He helps carry the show. If you enjoy him,
wow.
Yeah.
His character, you root for his character, but you're mad that you're rooting for him because he's such a dick.
Yeah.
Oh,
and that's
wow.
pretty much how it goes.
That is that's a big departure from being the Doctor.
That's
so,
why I was saying when
I'll
you told me
check
he
it
was
out.
a doctor, I was like, damn. Yeah, I didn't think that. So yeah, his there. They had several of those memes like his back has to be hurting from carrying the show. So
damn. Well, he carried Doctor Who, so I mean he can do it. He's got the chops. So okay. So another show that we don't really talk about, Rings of Power. Now again, don't watch it. Saw the movies, but I don't watch this. Is this any good?
Rings of Power. All right. We'll start off with this. Okay, the Rings of Power is based a lot on Tolkien's preliminary notes about what happened before the events of The Hobbit and the Lord of the Rings trilogy. So it's about the Rings of Power being made, the rise of Sauron, and the beginning of the fall of the Elven kingdoms. So one of the main characters in the Rings of Power is a younger Galadriel, whom you may remember from, the novels or the films.
Yeah.
Galadriel is one of the main characters, and you see a young Isildur. If you remember, Isildur was the one who cut off Sauron's fingers and claimed the One Ring in the War of the Ring, and ended up falling to the Ring's influence.
what's your name's heir,
Right.
or his great grand, where his line started.
And remember, he's Aragorn comes from his line.
Right, Aragorn is his descendant. Yeah.
Okay.
So it basically gives you the origin story of Mordor and Sauron and the One Ring. You see how the rings get created and why. Yep.
Got it. Okay. Well, that, I mean, Now I heard fanboys were upset about the black people in that one too.
Oh, there's a black elf.
Yeah, like
And
that
guess
couldn't
what?
happen.
And guess what? He lived through the whole thing.
And the queen of the island kingdom of Numenor, which is done beautifully, by the way, visually, is stunning. It looks
Ah,
awesome.
okay,
Is
okay,
Cynthia Adai Robinson, who was
okay,
also in Spartacus.
She a black
okay.
lady.
Did you watch Spartacus? Blood and
I was
Sand,
good. I did not
or
watch. I
Gods of
did
the
not watch
Arena?
Spartacus. No. Nope.
You need to check that out. Go back and check that out. Awesome shows.
Okay.
Yeah, she
Yes,
was in
sir.
that as well.
I will.
Yep.
Well, okay. Between Rings of Power and House of the Dragon, which one has more black people in it?
House of Dragons.
Is that your damn determining factor?
Yes.
When he's gonna watch for House of Dragons.
Who has more black
Yes.
people? House of the
Yes.
Dragon.
Okay. More black people than Matt Smith. House of the Dragon it is.
I mean, actually, it's better than Ring of Power to me anyway. So I mean, just overall,
Oh, wow.
I mean, I like what they did. Yeah, House of Dragon was dope. And listen, I wasn't a big Game of Thrones fan. I think I watched the first 3 seasons and then kind of fell
Okay.
off. But I got into House of Dragon. House of the Dragon. That was
Game of Thrones was
Okay.
banging except the last 2 seasons. Or the last 2.5 seasons, where they were just kind of going off of what they wanted to do, because at that point the author George R. R. Martin hadn't finished his book to say what happened. So they were kind of going off on
Right.
their own, which is why it fell off. So they kind of
Well,
were left to their own devices to figure out what they wanted to happen.
Man, the gatekeepers and the fanboys with that last episode of Game of Thrones, they were pissed. I mean, I watched it. I had no vested interest, but I watched it. It was okay.
The last
But
episode?
I guess, yeah. But fanboys were mad. Fanboys were hot.
Yeah, they were. They were. But again, nothing was written. It's not like they could complain and say, "Well, that's not how it happened in the novel," because that part fucking
Right.
hadn't been written. So it was just Benioff and Weiss doing what they thought needed to be done, right? So it was what it
Okay.
was. I didn't like it either.
Got
I
it.
thought it was a very quick and dirty way to try to wrap up storylines. I'll put it that way. And it
Quick and
showed,
dirty.
because at that point they were also getting ready or doing something other than Game of Thrones. So their attention was kind of divided, and you could kind of tell in the last season.
Got it. Well, quick and dirty. Some people like it like that. So before we get out of here, we have to pay our respects. Jules Bass has passed away. Those who may not know who Jules Bass is, he was half of the Bass Rankin production team that brought us Thundercats, brought us Frosty the Snowman, Rudolph, Shiny New Year, The Little Drummer Boy, Silverhawks, which was a cheap bastard stepchild of Thundercats, and many other things. These to us, those Frosty the Snowman and those Santa Claus stop motion animated joints back in the day were life. Back before you had a gazillion channels and a gazillion things going on, you lived off of
the
those
holiday
things.
season.
Yes.
The holiday season, my wife is going to fire them up. She's gonna fire them. She bought the DVDs. She's gonna watch them.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, just I'm Mr. Heat Miser. I'm Mr. Sun. I'm Mr. Heat Miser. I'm Mr. 101. Look, I'm gonna tell you something too. I was at a club in Chicago, and house music is bananas to begin with, but they remixed that with some house music. That shit was cold as hell. I ain't gonna lie. I was like, okay, Heat Miser, let's go.
Why am I not surprised?
Man, you can mix anything with my house music. Shit, look, don't get me started on the Wonder Woman theme. Shit, if that starts playing, I'm up shaking my ass. But also, we lost here in the past week Leslie Jordan, the actor, short white dude. Now you may know him from Will and Grace. May know him from there was a short-lived sitcom on Fox called Cool Kids with David Allen Greer. I thought he was funny as hell. Anything I saw him in, he was hilarious, and he will be missed. I don't know if you gentlemen are familiar with Leslie Jordan's body of work, but
somewhat.
He's funny as hell. So hate to see anybody go. In particular, he was in a car accident. I hate to see that. But so, Uncle Percy, you got any words of wisdom before we get out of here? I'll take that as a no.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry.
Yeah, I forgot what I was going to talk about.
Lord have mercy.
We got time. We got 4 minutes. Jesus. Damn. I forgot what I was going to say.
Should we come back to you? Should we come back to you, Percy?
I was so far like Adam.
As he goes through the list in his mind, this is he's getting older by the moment as we sit here and go through his list with him. Okay, we'll come back to you, Percy. Uncle Rod, what you got? Nope, too late, nigga.
No. I remember. Just wanna say, we lost, me and John and DJ, we lost somebody very close to us. He was one of the best coaches that we ever had at our high school, at Whitney Young High School, Coach Wallace.
Absolutely.
He was one of those coaches that really looked after all the guys. He really believed in us, not on, either on the football field or either doing track. Just wants to succeed in, just succeed in life. And he's going to truly be missed. And I think we saw him was at our 30th.
Yeah.
Or 25th. Yeah.
It was 30th, I believe.
Yeah. So he will definitely be missed.
Rest in peace, Coach.
Yeah. He will definitely be missed.
Yeah. Rod, you got anything?
Go see Black Adam. even though reviews were mixed. Go see it. I had something else, but Percy fucked me up, so I can't remember what it is.
As Percy tends to do, yeah. Roy, what's coming up on the network?
Oh man, let's see. We got Benedict's homecoming this weekend. The GCAC volleyball tournament next week.
Ooh.
Excuse me, in New Orleans. That's gonna be a lot of fun.
Nice.
So, yeah. So we're gonna get ready for that, and then getting ready for basketball season, man. We're gonna have a whole lot of It's so funny for me watching and looking at it. Like I actually have to go look at the schedule. HBCU Go put their schedule out. I was talking to another company, and they were bragging about having 16 games, in the fall. And I'm thinking to myself, in the what would be considered the winter, spring, January through March, and I'm thinking to myself, like, dude, we got 30 some odd games before we even get out of December. What are y'all doing? Yeah, people aren't ready for the level of coverage that we're about to bestow on HBCU sports, but that's what we're here to do.
Oh shit!
Ta-da.
He said people ain't ready. Come on now. Self-promotion is the best, isn't it?
Yeah, they are not ready.
They ain't ready. So, okay, we get a little song too. Once again, rest in heaven, Coach. I would have run through a brick wall for that man. So, condolences to his family, in particular, our classmate Linda, who graduated with us. And that's it for today. As always, check us out. Facebook Live, YouTube Live. We tape live every Wednesday, 8:30 p.m. Unless we got other shit going on because we're old ass men. But we will see you next week. And night.
Where was that music coming from?